Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa and welcome back to the glorious OverAnalyzed. Now, apologies for missing it out last week. Things went bad, ladies and gentlemen. They went bad. Anyway, it's back this week. Remember, if you want to support this show, if you click the sponsor button below the video, you can support the show that way, and that is awesome. And you get some funky benefits. But do remember, still send in your clips using the instructions that have been on the screen. Okay, so what we're going to do today, let me just play this while we're talking in the background. As you can see, it is a diamond player, but this is a Brigitte player. Now, the email is really interesting because it says, "Hey Sty, I've been playing Overwatch since last anniversary event. I've never played any FPS games before. I've always been in silver. However, I started playing Hanzo and Brigitte. I now reached 3,263 SR, right? Will you please take a look at my gameplay?" So, first things first here, this does kind of show you, right, that some people do play the wrong heroes. Now, if this player was playing, Genji and all of that good stuff and could only get into silver, then suddenly changed its playstyle by selecting a different hero and then suddenly got way more SR, well, that just says that, yeah, you probably shouldn't have been playing those heroes. You should play the heroes that click with you. And this actually is some really good advice. A lot of players of Overwatch, they might gravitate to a hero because they like the way it looks. They're like, hey, I like the look of McCree, but they can't actually aim. So they spend ages playing McCree and they get nowhere. Then suddenly they decide to swap and change to a Reinhardt, and then they get loads of SR because actually they're a Reinhardt player. So always try and play as many heroes as you can. Don't ever get shoehorned into one hero. Anyway, let's take a look at this. This is the team comp that we've got right here. And this team comp is actually really damn good. Now, this is a diamond level game. Diamond is really high SR. People, if you watch Twitch streams, I'll be like, watch out, the plats are coming, the diamonds are coming. Actually, that's really high. Like, I think gold was the average SR, or maybe even high silver. It is quite alarming when you look at the stats. Anyway, let's take a look at this. So what we've got is you on Brigitte. That's cool. We've got Moira as the primary healer. We've got a primary tank, Reinhardt. Then we've got the secondary support, the Zen, which is awesome. Then we've got a D.Va, which is fine. And we've got a Hanzo. Now, the only issue with this team comp here is you could get rid of D.Va and stick in Zarya. And then we've got the good old Hanzo press Q to win. Well, we both press Q, we both win. Wonder combo, which is beautiful. So this is fine. So yeah, let's play this, and let's talk about Rialto. Let's talk about positioning, because it looks like the positioning is horrifically bad here. I don't know what we're trying to do here. You should always we're not really. Let you go. We're not. Get out of the way, Reinhardt. Okay, let's draw on the screen here, because Rialto is honestly the best map in the game. This map is amazing. King's Row is the best map in my opinion, but then this map is so good. What you've got to watch out for on this map, though, is Pharah. I always play Pharah on attack on this map because she's super strong. Because she can, you see this building? She can fly over that building. She can, fly around the side. She can fly everywhere. She's so strong on this map. Anyway, defensive positions-wise, normally, you want to be sort of set up where you are here with the tanks, right? Especially with Brigitte. In terms of your other DPS, I don't know what Moira's doing up here. She's probably going to throw a ball, I guess, into their spawn. But Moira, she should probably be behind you. Your other DPS, I think you've got a Hanzo there possibly, but DPS can poke from above up here, just down at them. There is also round the side here, you can fire across the bridge as the enemy team come across, which can actually give you some cheeky hits, especially if you're playing Hanzo, and I do like to do that myself, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm playing Hanzo on defense. All right, let's get stuck into this, because positioning is really dodgy here. I don't know what's going on. Our thoughts here are we're just looking to heal people with the armor pack or repair pack, and preload them with armor to begin with. We can't really do anything right now. We just need to not take damage, right? So us standing out in the open, getting hit, might not be the best idea. Zen's been killed, which isn't great, which we'll actually get onto in a second. Brigitte, you need to protect your supports. And we need to do as much damage as we can. Or, not as much damage, but we need to start hitting people so we start getting our heal. What we're doing here, we seem a little bit lost here. We shouldn't have retreated this far back, because there's literally no need. We should have been holding the corner. That Moira should not have died there. We should have probably protected Moira. Remember, you've got a barrier, a shield. You can use this to protect people. You absolutely have to protect the supports on your team, because while you are a support, or you're in the support category, you're kind of like a defensive tank support in a weird way. See, this here actually isn't too bad. Rally, we'll talk about in a second. I'm glad that you haven't used it just yet. But let's just think about what we could have done there. See, I'm glad you didn't use it, because what normally happens is in this like situation right now, Rally comes up, so people are like, "Oh my God, Rally to me!" Wah! And then it just goes off. The problem with that is Rally is something you need to use when your whole team is together to give them armor. And remember, this armor doesn't dissipate; they just keep the armor. So you want to give it to your team when you're not taking damage, right? And then the team just sort of, you know, can do whatever. What people tend to do with Rally is they use it like a, oh no, it's like Transcendence. We're taking loads of damage. I'm going to rally. However, after me just saying I don't think we should have rallied, or I don't want you to immediately rally, you didn't do that, which is good. This situation now is actually in our favor. There are only 2 enemy players that I can see here on the payload, right? We've got 2 guys there. We've got you. We should pop Rally, really, just to try and solidify this, because Rally, it comes up quick. It is a fast charging ultimate. So I would have used Rally here. You have used it. It's a little bit later than maybe, but what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing, right? This is another common mistake Brigitte players make. When you rally, that is not, I'm going to rush the enemy, I've got rally. No, rally means you go to your team and you give them armor. It doesn't mean you rush forward. So rushing forward there wasn't the play, because you've run out of range of people and they're not getting armor. So it's a bit of a waste. That's a really nice stun there. Actually, we should talk about the stun combo, because if you've been watching Overwatch League, you'll see players like Mickey and Prophet, more so Mickey, that do this quite regular. So when you look at your abilities, right, you look at the shield bash. If anybody gets close to you, you shield bash them, yeah, and then you basically melee, shield bash, whip shot, they're dead. If it's a Tracer or a Genji, they're absolutely dead. Sometimes you won't get the melee in to begin with. You'll just shield bash, and then you could like melee them and then whip shot them. That combo is just insane. It will just delete people from the game. It is so powerful. This is one of the other reasons why you almost certainly want to be with your supports and you want to work with them. The other thing which you're not doing in this game is working with the Reinhardt, because Reinhardt is like, really, you've got a lot of options here. This is a really great choke point for Brigitte. We've got a Riptide coming in, and we're running away from it, which is fine. Spread out. There's not really much more we can do about that. I think Riptide got wasted. Nice stun there. So actually, right, you know what? You are actually playing Brigitte quite well. Now we're going forward to support the Reinhardt. So the point I was trying to... We are getting a little bit crazy now, but it seems to be working. But yeah, the point... Hey, we always made it to the high ground. We're dead, whatever. The point I was trying to make with the Reinhardt, with Brigitte, with deciding what to do, is sometimes you need to be with the front line. Sometimes you need to be with the back line. You don't ever want to be caught on your own. If the enemy's got a Reinhardt and you've got a Reinhardt, then you should say to your Reinhardt, I'm going to stun, or at least tell them that you're going to stun the enemy Reinhardt, because it gives your Reinhardt the chance to charge him, to maybe melee him, to maybe even use his Earth Shatter, right? In a more sort of reliable way. I mean, I guess you can still just charge through the barrier anyway, but... Right, let's take a look at this, because we've got Rally again. We kill this, we kill her, right. Now, we're popping Rally, we're telling everybody, we go, guys, come to me, guys. Yeah, so you're doing it. See, so you're actually decent, right? Well, we clean this up, so, yeah. What are they doing? No, use the repair pack! Ah! We should have used the repair pack there. If she dies, that's our fault. The rally's okay, but what are we doing again? Like, look, listen. Get this into your head. Like, this has to be one of the most common Brigitte problems. If this is you are Brigitte. When you rally, only people in the circle. Can you see it here? This lovely circle, which is going around the side here. Get the armor, right? So if you pop it and your teammates are over here, and then you run away from them, they get no benefit. You have to run towards them. Do not run away from them. You have to give them the armor. This is one of the most interesting ultimates in the game, because it's an ultimate you use out of combat to prepare you for the next fight. You know, there were discussions in the past where people were like, yeah, you use this, and I was one of them. You use it as you're going into an attack, so you get the armor, like more armor, so you're building up armor, the armor gets chunked down, but then the armor comes back during the fight. But that's not the best way to use this. The best way, like, great reaction. No. We don't want to go forward here. We don't want to go forward. The best way to use the rally, anyway, is the point I was trying to make, is you use it like way before the fight, because that way it means that you just got loads of armor. And if you've got a Zen on your team, which you do have, Zen generally just keeps the armor forever because armor is underneath shields. So shields take damage before armor, and Zen usually keeps regenerating. Same goes for Zarya. Right. This is... I hope you're about to back off. Yep. But Brigitte players do get a bit aggressive. And rush forward like there's some sort of killing machine. While this is somewhat true, you have to be careful. Just keep swinging. Like, remember as well, you have to do damage to trigger your heal. So you always need to be throwing, doing damage, you know, and all that stuff. This is great play. We're backing off. Like, you're never going to kill any sturdy targets, but you did play well there. We should keep him away from the point. Like, looking to use whip shot to knock people back. So, honestly, that was pretty good. But the reason why that was pretty good is we got them in a really good choke point. Like a really, really good choke point, and the enemy team got screwed. Brigitte, it is very, very crucial, I mentioned this, is quite specific to maps sometimes. Like, you can't just roll her all of the time because she might not be able to heal. She might not be able to get enemies in close quarter combat, which she can in Rialto, especially on the first point of the map. And to be honest, she can do it on Rialto literally throughout the entire map, I would say. Probably after the second point is the only time she'd struggle. But beyond that, she has a really, really good time on the map. Things like on Junkertown first point, she could have issues because there's a lot of open space. It becomes difficult for Brigitte to get into the fight somewhat. However, she still is quite powerful. And the same goes for almost all of the supports right now anyway. They're all in a pretty good position. They're all very usable. So let's just recap what you've been doing. You've got gold healing, which is fine. Your positioning seems fine. You're using rally, not the best. Always think about giving the armor to your teammates. Now, you're at a pretty high level anyway. I mean, you're playing at diamond level, so you're pretty... You know, you've got the basics down. You are playing quite well. You've got the Brigitte mindset. But as you start going up through the ranks, you're going to need to make rally work more, like, better for you. You need to get more impact off it. And the dead easy way of doing that is just popping it outside of combat and, like, running up to your team or telling them, guys, I'm going to rally, come to me. Just that. I know a lot of people saying like have problems with voice comms. They generally don't want to say things sometimes because it looks like we're getting a Farah. Let's just pause this. They generally don't want to say things sometimes because, you know, you don't know what other people might say, you know, and who wants people being toxic to you over the chat and all of that stuff? But you can mute people, right? Honestly, this might sound like a bit of crazy advice, but if you've got any sort of anxiety, don't worry about muting everybody on your team, like in voice, but leaving your microphone on. Even if you're just saying things like, guys, I'm going to rally, come to me. People will listen to that, right? So that is a pretty good tip. Anyway, team comp-wise here, we've got a Farah. Now, it would be nice if we got a Mercy to go with the Farah because it's really strong on this map. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and I don't really have much of an issue. But Farah is really, really, really good on this map, like really good. She can flank. She can just hit rockets. She's like... I think she's quite OP, to be honest. They probably need to look at the map and think, we need to not allow Farah to just fly over everything. It is totally ridiculous. Right, now, let's see what we're going to do. Oh, we do get the Mercy, so that's good. That is awesome. We get the Mercy. Right, we rush forward. One thing we need to look for here, right? A lot of people don't. There's a hog to the right. We don't really need to chase him. Just leave him. Anyway, this is the point I wanted to make about this bridge. So, our bridge over here that we run past, this bridge here, you have to be aware of. So when you leave the spawn, on the right-hand side, there could be a Hanzo, right? I do this. I'm a dirty Hanzo player. I'd stand here, just around the corner, and I'd pop a few shots off really quick. Sometimes you get a kill, because guess who's generally lagging behind? The supports are, aren't they? If the enemy's got an Ana, you can just, like, kill her at the start of the game. It's pretty cheesy. But always be aware of that, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, let's see what happens. Let's go. So probably should move the payload. Our Farah is not flanking. Get flanking, Farah. I mean, this is obviously going to be quite easy for us because we don't really have to push very far. We shouldn't have got hit by that. That was actually really bad. You see, why did we walk into that? Symmetra can charge her telly really quick, especially if you walk through that stuff. That's going to be problems for us. Nice work with the hook there, but unlucky. We probably should have brought our barrier up there instead of going in for the damage because the barrier wasn't destroyed. Right? Again, this is really stupid advice, but try not to die. goes for everybody. If you can do something which is not going to kill you, then do it. If you could have brought up your barrier then, you probably wouldn't have died, and that would have been good. Like, yeah. Like, honestly, we're just waiting for our team to get together. Like, we don't... That was pretty nice, actually. But we don't mind it if the enemy use ultimates here. We've got 2 minutes 51. Like, I think we've just broke the back of them anyway, and we're just pushing through. We can just keep going forward now. Like, we've got the advantage here. Rush forward and kill them. See, the telly's up, but it looks like, unfortunately, the telly's coming up at just the right time for us, because we're probably going to be able to push this all the way. Yeah, they've literally got no chance. It's going to be an easy win for us there. Beautiful. Okay. Bring up the score screen again. Let's go. Bring it up, 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 bring it up. Do you bring it up? You do that. Right, okay. Let's take a look at the score, because it was a good performance, right? We've got gold healing, which is good. I'd prefer it if we didn't have gold healing, but... Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I was choking to death. But yeah, I'd prefer if we didn't have gold healing, but I think the map just sort of worked out in a way where we're going to get gold healing. However, when we do things like this and get gold healing in games, we shouldn't possibly be doing that. It means we're actually playing really well, especially with Brigitte. Now, the enemy team did sort of play into your hands as well. In terms of, because we got them like caught at a really nice choke and we could just work the choke. In terms of ways you could get better with Brigitte though, I want you to talk to the team. I want you to tell them when you're going to use rally. If you don't do that, you're wasting rally a lot of the time. Also, run to your teammates when you've got rally. Don't use it as this thing where I'm just going to rush forward, like, rally to me, then run into the enemy team. That's not really how you use this ultimate. I know you kind of want to do that because, well, she screams rally to me, pops out a flag and moves faster, so you think, I'm just going to rush people, this is going to be great. That's not really what it's used for. You need to give the armor to your teammates because the advantage persists after that team fight, and it's so strong, especially if you win. And especially on heroes like Zen and Zarya, heroes that have got shields, because the armor goes underneath the shields and makes them crazy powerful. The other thing as well is work with your Reinhardt. If you ever come to a Reinhardt versus Reinhardt game, so if we're looking at, like, imagine this is our Reinhardt barrier, that's the enemy's Reinhardt barrier. Your Reinhardt has got the little tick above his head because he's got Earth Shatter, but he really wants to Earth Shatter the enemy team. Well, all we do is we shield bash their Reinhardt and then he Earth Shatters, but we have to tell him. We can't just do it and then expect him to Earth Shatter. All you've got to say there is, I'm going to bash Reinhardt, or get ready to Earth Shatter Ryan, I'll bash theirs, something like that. Your Reinhardt will understand and he will instantly do it and it will just wipe the enemy team out. It's mega powerful. The other thing as well is in terms of positioning, try and maintain a position if the game, we didn't really see it too much in that game, but try and maintain a position where if these are your support players and they're in this sort of, ball together, maybe you've got your Zen or your Moira or your Anna, you should be with them to protect them. Like, Brigitte should always be with them because you're going to stop Tracer's attacking, Genji's attacking. You're just going to stop that. Now, the only time you leave them is if there is a, let's say, an advantage to support your tanks at the front. The problem is, this is very much like an experience-based thing. You need to get used to, knowing when to move forward. But like as a rule of thumb, protect your supports all of the time. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Stylosa and this is Unit Lost. I hope you enjoyed this. This was OverAnalyzed. Remember, you can submit your clips to appear on the show. Do follow the instructions out on the screen. But if you're a die-hard OverAnalyzed fan, then do think about supporting the show via the sponsor button. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Doodaloo.